Welcome, we are IRC, International Restaurant Consultants.
This is a guide for CSR in South Africa.
And more specifically for restaurants.
This video will cover a comprehensive CSR strategy that we at IRC feel will make your business more successful. Now Nick and Dennis will explain a little bit more about CSR and how we feel about it.
After conducting extensive research, we have found that CSR is much more than public relations release for prospective customers, employees and shareholders.
Furthermore, a well-managed CSR creates a social and environmental value while supporting a company's business and objectives and reducing its operating costs.
To grasp the business culture in South Africa, we have looked at the country's Hofstede scores, which can be found on the screen now.
As you can see, power distance is at 49 out of 100. It shows that the power distance within South Africa is at a quite neutral state, not demanding a lot of distance between employees and employers. The Netherlands, in comparison, is at 38, where employees have a little more freedom under their employers. South Africa is a little more collective than the Netherlands, though still has a high individualism factor as it stands at 65 out of 100. The biggest difference is in masculinity, where the South African figure is much higher than the Netherlands. This may be due to the culture in South Africa, where there's a slight sexist view in business relations.
The fourth aspect of Hofstede's scores for South Africa is uncertainty avoidance. South Africa's score is 49, whereas the Netherlands' score is 53. This shows that South Africa and the Netherlands have a similar uncertainty avoidance culture, which means that both are quite neutral in business terms. The fifth aspect of Hofstede's score for South Africa is long-term orientation. South Africa has a score of 43, which shows that South Africa are very short-term orientated, whereas the Netherlands have a score of 67, which indicates that they are long-term orientated. The final aspect of Hofstede's scores for South Africa is indulgence. South Africa and the Netherlands have a similar score to each other. Both the Netherlands and South Africa have a high indulgence score, which implies that both countries like to invest in the future in their economy instead of saving their money.
Company social responsibility is an important topic in South Africa with respect to the economy, the state and public opinion. There is active support from the government as well as domestic and foreign companies. In response to a 2005 survey by Trialog of more than 100 stock exchange noted companies in South Africa, 73.5% of those surveyed said that they take corporate citizenship very seriously. 24.5% say they take it seriously. The social involvement of companies in South Africa reaches back to the time of social grievances during apartheid. Until 1994, many companies invested actively in social initiatives since the state saw no need to act on behalf of the coloured groups in the population. Business recognized that the poor living conditions of the black majority were putting the brakes on economic development. In this context, the Urban Foundation, which was established in 1976, set as its goal the improvement of the quality of life of the black communities.
With this information in mind, the following slide will outline two elements of our strategy, which will be explained in the remainder of the video.
The checklist idea uses the purchasing power of consumers to help those less fortunate in South Africa. This idea is to charge the consumer 1.5 times the actual cost of a product, having the consumer paying half the price of an extra meal. This extra meal is put on a checklist, where at the end of the week, the checklist is added up to see how many free meals we can offer. The meals are then taken to nearby townships so that people can eat healthy food for free. For the idea to work, we need to make sure the consumer knows what he is paying to whom. This way we can attract people to come and pay for a quality meal as well as giving food to the less fortunate.
For example, we charge €1 for coffee, but the consumers pay €1.50. The actual price of making a coffee is 25 cents. This way we can actually give 2 coffees away at break-even price as opposed to giving half a coffee away.
The hiring strategy is a hiring system that focuses on developing the CVs of those that never get a chance to work. The idea is to hire unqualified citizens of all races to take them through a 2-week training process. There they will learn basic steps to work in restaurants.
This helps those in need of a job and willing to develop as they receive a notable salary, as well as gaining experiences for future jobs. The cycle rotates 10 new employees every 4 to 6 months, so that a lot of people get the chance.
In addition to these 10 employees, there are professional chefs and waiters who take a leading role over the new 10 employees. As a famous quote goes, "Feed a man a fish and you will feed him for a night." teach them how to fish, and you feed them for a lifetime.
We at IRC believe that with these strategies in place, there are some direct benefits that can help you as a company, and specifically a restaurant. There will be economic stability, for example, more specifically with the checklist idea, as you're not necessarily compromising money, but you're investing it into a good cause. That good cause is going to lead to a social good, with the fact that you're going to be feeding the less privileged, and as well as you're also going to be teaching people with the hiring strategy and employing people that need jobs. Finally, you're more likely to have people interested to invest in your business due to linked with the fact of the social good, and that can help you in your future in developing your restaurant.
To all restaurants with issues of CSR in South Africa, we hope this video will be a useful guide.
Thank you very much, or like they say in South Africa,